Well, the Arsenal left back known as Kieran Tierney is open to leave Arsenal for Newcastle in the summer. Fabrizio Romano has also gone ahead to assert it. Mikel Arteta has spoken about the situation of Kieran Tierney on being linked to a move to Newcastle. Rokani Media Football is the YouTube channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. We are talking about William Saliba, latest contract renewal update. Fabrizio Romano again onto this one. And lastly, we are discussing Gabriel Magalhães. He was almost going to Everton, but guess what helped Arsenal? It was COVID, and then Arsenal hijacked the deal and signed him immediately because it's rumored that he had even underwent his medical at Everton, but Arsenal finally hijacked the move and got their man. Rokani David is my name. Don't forget, we are left with like 20 subscribers to hit 12,000, is it 300? So let's subscribe, guys, because I know by the end of this month of March, we are going to be having 13,000 subscribers. And guys, welcome to the new month of March. Welcome to the new month of March, guys, and thank you for always keeping it this channel, and I'll always love you guys. Your love is really unending. Get? I appreciate it. It keeps coming in through every time, and I'll never at any point really feel not loved. You guys have shown me love, and reciprocation is what I'm trying to learn. And I'm trying to do it by really giving you content that is really unlimited day in, day out. And I think you're enjoying it. So let's see close to 200 likes on this video, and let's set into this Kieran Tierney story that I really broke, I think, like 1.5 weeks ago. Most of you said that I might be lying, but this time around, even Mikel Arteta has gotten touched. Fabrizio Romano has given us his view about Kieran Tierney, and you know, he talks with the agents of these players. Now, firstly, it was Lee Ryder. He's a Cronsal's chief Newcastle writer, meaning that he is that correspondent for Newcastle, fly on the wall. He knows what exactly takes place in between the rooms of discussions as far as the board meetings are concerned, with Eddie Howe and the chief scouts of Newcastle. He's telling us that Kieran Tierney is open to a move to Newcastle United this summer if Arsenal continue to keep him sidelined. Newcastle are understood to have had Tierney's name put on them by representatives in a move that would spice up the battle for left back on the tennis side. Now, the reason of Kieran Tierney wanting to leave Arsenal, it's no brainer. It's because he has been sidelined for very many games. And what has really gone ahead to show Kieran Tierney that Arteta does no longer need him at the club is that even when he doesn't start Zinchenko, he goes in for Tomiyasu to play as the left back. And that was not only done in the game against Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur, name it, but even over the weekend, I think against, is it Leicester and Aston Villa, when Zinchenko was taken off, guess who came on through to play as the left back? It was a player in the names of Tomiyasu, meaning that trust is no longer here at the club of Arsenal, and the player feels like he wants out of the club. Obviously, at the age of 25, 26, you wouldn't like to be benched. A player that was once liked by Real Madrid, looked at as a replacement of Marcelo, then till now, Juventus is interested in signing him. Inter Milan is still interested in him. And I know when it comes to the summer, very many other teams will go in for him because Kieran Tierney is a fantastic player. But let's be factual, he doesn't fit the style of play of Mikel Arteta. Zinchenko coming in through as an inverted left back, doing things that that Tierney can't do, obviously put him out into the starting position. You get? He's no longer even the second choice left back at Arsenal. He is the third choice because the manager has gone ahead to opt for a player called Tomiyasu ahead of him. That doesn't play well in the minds of Kieran Tierney, and I think it's really one of the reasons as to why he wants to leave Arsenal. He would have loved to stay, but at that age, unless you want to enjoy prestige and money, and you don't want to play games of football, but those professional players are too hungry with the agents to playing the game. And he has played the game at Arsenal, that is Kieran Tierney, but right now he has fallen deep down in the pecking order of Mikel Arteta, and he only wants out. Now, for Mikel Arteta, he had something to say about this interest, and these were his words. He said, I don't know. I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about what's best for the team. Obviously, the players have the right to play, which they all deserve. We are going to try to do that in a couple of games. Now, what shows you that a manager is really interested in you? When it matters, does he use you? That is the big question. When it has mattered most, when even the first choice left back is injured, Zinchenko, Kieran Tierney has not been given a chance to express himself as a left back at Arsenal. That is exactly an indicator that he's out of the plans of Mikel Arteta. That's it. And as it stands, you will look out through and ask yourself, what should a player like Kieran Tierney do to get back into the team of Arsenal? I think when they are playing Sporting Lisbon, he's going to be played as a left back. But I would fancy, or Kieran Tierney would fancy to be played as a left back in Premier League games than the UEFA Europa League games. If it was Champions League, he would have said, all right, the rotation is okay. I'm being played in the Champions League, and Zinchenko is playing in the Premier League. But even Zinchenko would love to play both in the Premier League and the Champions League, because all those games, Mikel Arteta will be needing his main man. It looks like Arteta shouldn't also be put on the cross, because all the explanation I'm giving is concerning the manager not giving the player enough playing time. But is Kieran Tierney reliable? That's the big question. And the answer is no. We might be seeing him being a variable on the bench most of the times because the manager has gone ahead to not play him and not get injured. But every time he tried to really stretch him to playing very many games, he just found himself injured. Something that Zinchenko has gone ahead to surpass and obviously look a very good player who doesn't get injuries. He had disturbances with injuries, but looks like he has gone ahead to really get himself back onto the foot. Ever since return from the World Cup, Zinchenko has not missed out on the game. So I think you also give a little bit of defense to Mikel Arteta, because every manager would love a player who is physically fit. But the injury proneness and injury record of Kieran Tierney is really very, very, very scaring to Mikel Arteta, and that's why I think he's okay with not really depending on him, and I think he's going to be okay to selling him, and I think they can get close to 30 million pounds from him, and that sale will be very good because they won't go in for a new left back. Why? They have Nuno Tavares here, who is really doing great at Marseille. He's going to return in the summer. The other player is Jakub Kiwior. He can also be played as a left back, so they're really having lots of options to play as left backs at Arsenal. Now, number one transfer guru Fabrizio Romano also had something to assert onto this story of Zinchenko. He said, I'm told there is a chance Tierney will leave in the summer, but this is not 100% approved yet on the club side. They want all the team to be 100% focused on the final games of the season to win trophies. So that means if Fabrizio Romano is told, then that's like it's a done deal, unless otherwise Arsenal change. But they don't want to allow such topics into the dressing room. If a player's agent, the player went and knocked onto the door of Mikel Arteta requesting for the player to leave in the summer, maybe Mikel Arteta gave them a green light and told them, one thing I want us to do is simple. I want us to really behave and really stay focused such that we don't lose out the main aim. What is the main aim? The main aim is simple. It's to win the trophy. That is the main aim. The main aim is to win the big trophy, and that is the Premier League. So, as it stands, Fabrizio Romano is also confirming with us that he's told that Kieran Tierney is going to leave. And obviously, to me, I believe he's going to leave because the level at which Arsenal is going, they are no longer going to sign mediocre players. You get? They need players that are really promising to be the next good thing, or players that are really finished articles, because they have gone into a stage of playing big games. Secondly, next season, Arsenal is going to be looked as the team to beat, and you've seen how hard it has been for them when every team was coming for them. That means they need to bring in players with pure quality to complement the others that are already there with quality, meaning that Arteta will like to see this player cashed on at Arsenal and obviously move on and go on to the rest of the business. Now, apart from Kieran Tierney, I told you we're going to talk about William Saliba contract situation, having said no to the first proposal, but he wants to stay. There is a lot of updates Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to throw in to us as far as this deal is concerned. He has told us that negotiations between Arsenal and William Saliba over a new contract, it is the next priority for the club after Saka deal almost done. Understand Saliba wants to stay. Talks ongoing, detailed salary structure of the deal not at final stages yet. And we know why it broke. This deal broke because Arsenal was offering a deal of £120,000 to William Saliba, but Saliba said no. Saliba wants a salary between £150,000 to £200,000 a week because he knows he has played for it. He has played the game at Arsenal. He's one of the best centre-backs in the world in his age, and no way you can't give him that amount of money because he deserves it. If his contract was left with like 2-3 years, then Arsenal would have said, all right, let's negotiate for another year or for another year. But obviously, his contract is running down in 2024. You wouldn't like to expose him to a situation of starting a new season of 2023-2024 when he's not tied down, meaning that Arsenal are really working tirelessly to get this player on paper. That's it. That is William Saliba. But he wants to stay. That is the most important bit of it. And Arsenal are really ready to try to negotiate, but the deal is not yet in the final stages. And I think Saliba's return from Marseille with his agent, when they returned, they had already made up their mind that we want such and such amount of money to stay at Arsenal. Why? The agent had contacts from teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, and very many other teams interested in signing William Saliba. What did that mean? It meant that the player standards have really skyrocketed to an extent that even Real Madrid and Barcelona are really wanting to sign the player. So, William Saliba, good player, knowing his value with his agent, they are negotiating with Arsenal, and they are not trying to make it hard, but they are respecting their value as a player. You know, if you start earning like £150,000 per week at the age of 21, that means in the next 4 years, you'd find your salary blossom or accelerate to £300,000. So that is Saliba for you, and he's really wanting to stay at Arsenal, but he wants a huge salary that Arsenal are still negotiating about. Let's talk a little bit about Gabriel Magalhães, story broken by Charles Watts, Arsenal correspondent for the Goal. He has told us that Gabriel had completed a medical ahead of a summer move to Everton, but COVID pandemic delayed the transfer. This allowed Arsenal to come in, and Pepe played a key role in making Gabriel choose Arsenal because Pepe was at Lille, and obviously Gabriel Magalhães was at Lille too. So agent Pepe got into Gabriel Magalhães at a club known as Arsenal. So it shows you how transfers are really funny, and that's why I don't argue with some fans here, all viewers of my channel, who come out and tell me always that the only way we are going to agree on news is when we see that player holding up the shirt, because nowadays hijacks have turned out to be like hijacks. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. What are your thoughts of Kieran Tierney open to leave Arsenal for Newcastle? William Saliba contract talks going on, but the deal is not yet in final stages. And lastly, Gabriel Magalhães situation. Arsenal not losing to Everton and coming in and hijacking the deal. Your thoughts about all that are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. May the Lord see you grow and succeed today and all the days you are left with, breathing oxygen on planet Earth. Ciao, ciao, my big mates.